method actor or meth head actor? The world may never know.
Are we going to be a nation that stands for the Constitution? Or for TikTok?
Look, I don't have the slightest idea of what the hell standing up for TikTok even means. But in fairness to Dennis, I'm assuming he suffers from CTE.
What you talking about?
Now, I know he's not a footballer, but he did play one in the movie. And apparently, he does his own stunts.
Now it all makes sense.
Are we going to be a nation of law and order? Or wide open borders?
Hey, last time I checked, your candidate was in support of the wide open borders.
Trump essentially admitted to killing the bipartisan border security bill in Congress because it would have, quote, made it much better for the opposing side.
It's amazing how the issues of the 1980 election are very similar to what they are today.
Please, do tell.
We were a nation in decline. That's what they told us. Ronald Reagan came along and said, no, we're not a nation in decline. We're going there, and we followed him.
This defies your own logic, Dennis, because Trump is the only candidate on the ticket saying the nation is in decline, while Kamala is saying
America's economy is strong and experiencing stable and steady growth.
Are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
COVID down, crime down, unemployment down.
Bet your ass I am.
Today, Putin is making money hand over fist, selling oil that he uses to pay for his Soviet-style comeback war that he has with Ukraine.
Huh? Has he been living under a rock for the past 4 years? Because he clearly didn't read the room. Someone should have told him. His party's candidate is in full support of Putin's war in Ukraine. Hence, the lack of applause.
Idiot.
You know, when he left office, inflation was under 2%. That's like nothing. It was free money almost.
Did he really just say that low inflation is like free money?
What does that even mean?
It should mean
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it.
Look, he is correct about one thing. Inflation actually was under 2% when Trump left office. And it peaked around 9% within Biden's first 16 months in office. But
Brace yourself.
that had nothing to do with Bidenomics. It had very much to do with Putin invading Ukraine. The same Putin that your Lord and Savior Donald Trump sent free COVID tests in the middle of a pandemic when we had a shortage of COVID tests in the middle of the pandemic.
What a scumbag.
But you want to know where inflation is today under Biden's economy? Roughly 2.4%.
That's it?
That's it.
It's time to pick a side.
Let's see. Fascism, bigotry, trickle-down economics, white supremacy and 19th century principles with a president that's hooked on phonics, or tax breaks for the middle class, women's rights, marriage equality, Black Lives Matter, compassion, integrity, honor, diplomacy, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, this was easier than I thought.
My housekeeper, Josie, she was here illegally for over a decade, using her sister's identification, working for us.
What the hell did you just say?
Their entire platform is centered around illegal crossings at the border. Meanwhile, he's been harboring and employing for the last decade a perpetrator who he claims illegally crossed at the border.
Wow, you couldn't make this stuff up.
Somebody somewhere, please give this idiot
5 years for aiding and abetting.
She was always living in fear that she was going to get pulled over. She was the safest driver you ever saw.
just how many ways can you throw your cheap labor under the bus? An illegal immigrant with fraudulent identity, driving without a license while working without a visa. That is a Hall of Fame level of snitching.
She has her green card today, and she so wants to get her citizenship so she can vote for Donald Trump.
Please explain how an individual can go from green card to citizenship within the next 20 days and be eligible to vote in the November election.
You heard it here, folks. Voter fraud.
Which is very interesting, to say the least, coming from these people.
And say that the president's administration is, quote unquote, importing voters and creating a national security threat.
Is there any reason to believe that what Musk calls voter importation is actually happening?
There's absolutely no evidence of it.
Listen, after this bizarre and convoluted jargon of nothingness, the last thing his housekeeper needs to be worried about is the election. If I was her, I would be more concerned about... I'm just saying. Hey, in a world full of Dennis Quaids, show your honor. Be a Bryan Cranston.
There should not be anyone but them deciding what happens to their own bodies. And that's why I'm enthusiastically supporting Vice President Harris and Governor Walz.
I'm Hype Esquire, and I approve this message. Hey, thanks again for watching. Please do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow, all the above. Whatever you do, thank you for doing it. Peace.